Selected Poems by Urbina. Witchcraft. Read by Newgate Novelist. I did not hear when you came in. Dark in the shadow of a slow sunset lay the ancient park of my thoughts, girt around by sadness as by a wall. I saw you arrive before me like magic, like the marvel of an incantation, like the sweet apparition of a fairy tale, white with the whiteness of snow, and blonde with tresses of pure gold. A breath of April blew through my autumn. On every twig new leaves budded. In every forsaken nest there were songs, and among the shadows of the garden, wandering fireflies, dreams glittered, as before the latest of my griefs. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Birds by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Childhood, how deep the memories you stir! My heart was then like eaves with white birds filled, when in my sky the sun began to rise, and with its tender beams the shadows thrilled. Firmness and life and wild exuberance, youth brought me all of these, and joy and might. But the white birds of innocence, ah me! Retreating from its aspect fair to see, fled, as if terrified by so much light. Later my heart, with fragrant odours filled, was like a shadowy, broad-branching tree, where, as the sun rose higher in my sky, sweet birds of azure used to sing to me. The sun went down, and then came on the night, my long, dark night of sorrow and despair. In its thick blackness they were lost to me, the melodies that filled my hours of glee, illusions birds of azure, bright and fair. Sun of my sky, you gladden me no more. My heart is now a church in ruins cold, a mournful nest of birds with plumage black, which the deep shadows of my grief enfold. One mystic moonbeam's faint, pale thread of light alone disturbs the darkness with its ray. Let not its gleam be quenched. It is to me the only joy of my sad destiny, a memory of youth now passed away. O time, I leave the doors all standing wide. Swiftly come in, if it indeed be true that all things you destroy and sweep away, bear hence with you these dark-hued birds, I pray, as you bore hence the white birds and the blue. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. From The March Toward the Ideal by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Where are they going? God knows. Ask, what road do you follow, O wave of the sea? Whither are you flying, O bird? What is your path, O cloud? What, O breeze, your destination? And breeze and bird and cloud will say, it is a divine secret. Where are we going? We are going thither. God knows. Humanity knows that a mysterious soul causes everything to move upward by a starry stairway, that what was a thorn yesterday will be a rose tomorrow. What yesterday was a chrysalis, tomorrow will be a butterfly. What yesterday was a wish, tomorrow will be a wing. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The School Teachers by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Our function is a humble one, but it has its beautiful ornaments. It is to open flower cups and to unfold wings. It is the same work that the lovely springtime does, and a crowd of birds and flowers awaits us. Do not delay, march forward! The spring never abandons her work, nor leaves her labor unfinished. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. On the Lake by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. The waters with their phosphorescence blue mirror the heavenly twilight, air and sky subtler and thinner and more crystalline under the luminous transparency. In garrulous impatience, lo! The waves scatter in diamond dust the spray they shed, and to a pearly rose hue, fine and sweet, soften the sunset's tints of vivid red. Celestial shades weave many-coloured lace, build castles, golden domes and flaming towers beneath the waves, till mid the melting hues the lake appears, in sunset's magic hours, a lovely sheet of shining moire, bestrewn with petals of pure light from burning flowers. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Sunset by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. The twilight is diaphanous. It seems a precious crystal, opening in the skies its shining agate. 'Tis a filmy veil, in which the lake's calm azure swoons and dies. Into faint, greenish amber in the west, the sun's rich light is fading, still and slow. Upon the velvet shadow, far away, one pale star trembles like a flower of snow. The birds are circling slowly in the air. The shadow grows, it covers earth and sky. The golden hues of heaven it devours, and in its hush the purples fade and die. I let my spirit softly fall asleep, and I begin to dream amid the dew. It seems to me that sad eyes gaze at me, your mournful eyes of pallid emerald hue. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Triumph of the Blue by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. The glowing red of dawn paints the lake to pale blood of roses. Tranquil are the waters where, like a thin ribbon, the light undulates and opens capricious crevices of silver. And, far away, the sky against which the mountain summits are outlined is tinged with crimson. The purples melt into violet mists, and at last the brightness of the red is all extinct. The blue triumphs in splendor. It is the triumph of the azure, woven with silver and golden lights, like imperial brocade. It is the deep blue that bathes in pure light the motionless headland and the circling lake. And alone, in the distance, the sail of a boat places its sweet note of virginal white. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Last Sunset by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Topazes, amethysts, and emeralds deep are fused in the imperial sunset's light, and, black against the vivid hues of gold, a royal pine stands out upon the height. Upon the other side comes up the moon, a marble globe half darkened overhead, where in capricious folds the mountain brows their dense, luxuriant tropic verdure spread. Like some rich fabric with a border white of pearls and diamonds, now the sea lies fair, reflecting all the sky's bright mingled hues. It spreads its dark blue mantle to the air. And in those deep and silent solitudes, far, far above us, in the heavens o'erhead, pensive and sad the evening star shines out, fastened in glowing lace of ruby red. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Sunny Morning by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. The sails that quiver in the morning breeze throb like the wings of snow-white birds in flight. The air that skims the sea makes wrinkles fine in its blue silk of woven crystals bright. Deep calmness broods upon the golden coast, so pure and delicate the wind appears. When my hot face it cools, it seems to me my mother's kiss, which dries my childhood's tears. Birds in a flock, up soaring through the air, the shining whiteness of the cloud adorn, and stain the sapphire depth inviolate of the far sky upon this tranquil morn. And in the quiet of these hours divine, two women's voices sound from far away. Who knows what tender words that melt the heart they scatter in the stillness of the day? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Moonbeam by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Moonbeam, come in, thou art a welcome guest. 'Tis long since I have seen thy silver flame. Although I left the casement open wide, shadows alone into my chamber came. Ungrateful comrade, thou art still the same. The beam transparent, gliding through the night, the beauteous gleam of splendor from on high, diaphanous with amber's yellow light. Come in, she is not here, naught canst thou spy. Moonbeam, thou canst not now be indiscreet, even if thou upon the nuptial couch shouldst cast thy pearly radiance, clear and sweet. O'erflow the carpet like a glittering rain, flood all the silent room from wall to wall, and, clinging to the darksome drapery, give it the semblance of a silver shawl. Seest thou, all things are dusty and unkempt. The heart is chilled to view their mournful air. Upon the blackened nail the bird-cage hangs, empty and hushed. The songbirds are not there. Seest thou, around the railing, rough the vine its faded blossoms wreathes. No flower we spy upon the rose-tree. All the lilies now are withered, the sweet basil plants are dry. Thou brightness indiscreet, from heaven above, she loved thee in the past, I love thee now. How often have I seen thy glimmering light reflected from her pure and pensive brow. The girl with golden hair is here no more, the dreamer, pale and white as ocean foam, who said, as on thy shifting light she gazed, "It is the smile of God within our home." Ungrateful comrade, only thou and I are in this chamber, now a place of dole. Yet welcome, heavenly brightness indiscreet, if thou wouldst see her, come into my soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. An Evening Hour by Urbina, read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Gold radiant and sad, light of the evening sky and of your eyes. This sunset seems like one of your glances, intense and calm, luminous marvels of the sky and of your eyes. Who knows what vast and secret tenderness the west feels? The soul of the horizon is thinking. It utters profound things. It converses with my spirit. Life, changed into splendor, is speaking to me. How merciful is the evening, how good, how mournful, transparent, pensive and serene. It holds neither a tragic portent, nor a shape of violence, nor a gloomy phantom, nor a bloody cloud. A vision of gold, transparent and divine, veils the blue with a light haze of amber, and spreads to the summits, above the dark rocks, the pale crimson of the roses of March. The wind stirs the spring branches, and I hear your voice among the fugitive voices of the wind. The city, that glows silently in the distance, melts into the ruddy brightness of the eve. The silence murmurs its prayer. Before the sunset, the country trembles like a timid girl. The shadow darkens the depths of the sky, that look deeper the darker they grow, and on the edge of the red vapor quivers the tremulous crystal of a far-off star. There is piety, there is a dream, there is love and hope on the bright horizon. I am celebrating the league between your eyes and the day. I believe religiously in what your eyes and the sunset are saying to me. Love, pity, a dream and hope, the same things that are proclaimed to me by the splendors of your unfathomable eyes, a long-lasting charm. So I remain absorbed, when face to face with you, as when I face the brightness of the rising star. It is because in you, as in that brilliance of the west, there is a lovely mystery that stays my steps, an augury of morning, a consoling promise of day, a revelation of the dawn. If you could see how peaceful the twilight is, how good, how sad, how transparent, how pensive and serene. It is one of your glances, quiet and intense, one of the marvels of the heaven and of your eyes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Mass at Dawn by Urbina, read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Long ago, in times departed, long, long since in distant ages, that old church, to ruin falling, seemed to gazers at a distance, a caprice of mists and vapours, hanging from the tall trees' branches. From afar the mass looked formless. Coming nearer, clear to vision, domes and towers displayed their outlines, architraves, a ruined portal, griffins, monsters, and archangels, and, in wondrous equilibrium in the air, long rows of columns. Bits of wall, like sails in tatters, cut the blue transparent background. In that glade amid the forest, leprous, crumbling, lo, the silent, gloomy church stood meditating. But, as there exists no sadness without comfort, so the ruin, standing vast and sad and silent, in its solitude found pleasure. Every morn, can you believe it, at the advent of the dazzling, earliest gleam of virgin brightness from the deep remote horizon's lapis lazuli, there issued from the architraves and friezes of the lofty Gothic belfry, from the pinions of the angels, from the walls of chiselled stonework, from the niches of the statues, flocks of birds in endless numbers, chirping, twittering, and singing. Ah, the church is not deserted. Worshippers are still within it. See how thickly in the transept the loquacious swallows gather. Of this temple they the nuns are, and the monks are the song sparrows. On the stony wreaths and garlands multitudes of nests are builded, and there issue from dark openings, in the curtains of the foliage, flowers of purple morning glories, wild calendulas, red tulips, jacinths white as alabaster, blossoms of the wild field daisy, and, embroidering the drapery here and there, deep spots of crimson, myrtle blossoms, rich, blood-coloured, and the velvets of the mosses, greenish black, of tints that vary, border every edge and outline with their tapestries Arabian, torn by gusty winds and breezes, into pierced rosettes, huge trefoils. Ah, the church is not deserted. Worshippers are still within it, here the flowers their mass are holding. Do you see how lush the rose vines, o'er the church steps, worn and rugged, spread their branches, climbing, climbing, in a crowd, the pious peasants? Early worshippers, the roses, they are going to the temple. It is very late already. To the choir have come the violets, and of each corolla, swinging, now they make a fragrant censer. Pinks in legions lift their clusters, nettles green are now adorning the most holy of the altar, and the poppy, very careful of the satin of her petals, peeps among the sharp and prickly labyrinth of thorny bushes. Yes, the flowers their mass are holding. There is likewise a procession. 'Tis a swarm of iridescent, restless dragonflies that wander. All the herbage, green and tiny, bows, the birds officiating. No, the church is not deserted. Worshippers are still within it. Sadness finds its consolation, and that dark, gigantic ruin, full of ancient memories mournful, and of solitude unending, meditates. Yes, thou, O Nature, art a mother, a good mother. But how sad, O ruined temple, thou at eventide appearest, when the birds are hushed in slumber, when the flowers have closed their petals, and the sable parasitic plants upon the domes upgrowing paint themselves against the sunset, straight, immovable, far branching, looking like the plumes funereal shadowing the helms of giants. Come again, as always, darkness, cold, impalpable, and stealthy, thou the silent, thou the soundless, thou the traitorous, the constant. Come again. The church in sadness meditates. God, how the stars gleam! What unending light of diamonds! Space is now a blazing chapel. Oh, what myriad lamps in heaven! In the air what deep transparence! Ah, would but one star come hither, fix itself among my shadows! Ah, if but its trembling brightness would illuminate my shadows! On a night in chill December, how did it befall? We know not. One cold night, so cold, so frigid, that amid the radiant heavens, all the stars, bestrewn and scattered like a rain of orange blossoms, shivered. It was then a pilgrim came there, sad and solitary, twixt acanthus leaves, deep carven on a capital which, fallen, overturned upon the herbage, had become a vase of foliage. His gnarled staff he placed, then forward took his way, the steps ascending, portico and portal passing. The birds whispered, "Who is coming? Who is this? A saint? An image? From its ancient niche downfallen? No, it is a man." The pilgrim passed from sight at last, and vanished in the depths of dim, dark shadows. Suddenly it creaked, the temple, fleeting flashes crossed the shadows as if shining flags were passing. And a miracle was wrought there. Rose the porch, severe, triumphant. All the walls grew whole and solid, all the pillars rose unbroken. Arch and arch embraced each other. In a curve the aisles met softly. The majestic architecture, slender, elegant, and airy, in a glorious ascension, steadily kept rising, rising, till, against the sapphire heaven, spires and pinnacles were outlined. No detail was lost or lacking, sculptured saints nor carven monarchs, nor the crystals of the ogive, nor the leaves upon the garlands, nor upon the walls the lacework, nor the edges of the stonework, nor the veinings of the marbles. E'en the rusty mechanism of the church clock, slowly, gravely, now began the time to follow, one by one the moments marking. Now within the carven chancel, how much light! Is someone coming? From afar, a row of torches seems the valley to inundate, and amid the dense, deep forest, here and there among the tree trunks, bright red flames now prick the darkness. All things are alive and stirring. In the air the bell is swinging. Come, ye restless, troubled spirits, come, the mass is just beginning. And in litters and on horseback, in great crowds, from all directions, come they, nobles and plebeians, princesses and royal princes, labourers and lowly peasants, and the bishops and the abbots. All of them ascend the church steps, cross the chancel, throng the temple. From the multitude, so earnest to get in, a clamour rises. They would enter, but they cannot, for there is no space left empty. And within, how many tapers! Radiant, glittering constellations. They light up the arabesque work, make the altars glow like tinder, hang in masses yellow fringes on the columns, The adornments of the aisles encrust with jewels. All the chandeliers of silver flash. How many unexpected bursts of luminous effulgence blind the eye around the transept. See the tapestries, how vivid, hanging on the gilded railings. Oh, what colours! Oh, what contrasts! And upon the book rests opened, how the church grows white with missals. All things shine and gleam and glitter, silk of skirts of antique fashion, and the canopies brocaded, gold of necklaces that glimmer, the dalmatics of rich crimson, and the brooches set with brilliants, and the velvet of dark prie-dieu, and the broidered and heraldic garments of the host of pages. The procession now advances, slowly cross the thick wax torches. All the censers now turn over, and the smoke the air embroiders. From the organ peal sonorous heavenly harmonies. The crowd kneels. Past the bishops, past the abbots. From the belfry still the bell sounds, jubilant and never tiring. Restless ghosts, ye souls in trouble, come, the mass will soon be over. Then the cock crew, clear the dawn broke, and the rain of orange blossoms disappeared amid the brightness of inviolate blue heavens. And the breeze arrived, the herald, he that wakes the birds from slumber, he that scatters on the herbage handfuls bright of glittering diamonds. All the visionary marvel, graceful work of gold and silver, at one blow sinks, falls, is broken, is effaced, is fled, is vanished, blotted out and brought to nothing. On the broken rows of columns, on the bent and twisted pillars, on the shattered spars and needles, in the aisles and their recesses, flashed and shone, made up of atoms restless, bright and scintillating, like light filmy shawls in tatters. How did it befall? We know not. From the ruined church returning, came the sad, mysterious pilgrim. In his hand the dry and knotty staff he took to aid his journey, and amid the mists departed, and was lost among the tree trunks. It was left alone, the ruin, with its birds and with its blossoms, on a night in chill December. How did it befall? We know not. Tell me, is it true, my lady, that your heart is all a ruin, that it beats and throbs no longer, that the angels there have fallen, and that sometimes memories chant there, birds still faithful to the ruin, and again the withered blossoms of your tenderness reopen, when upon your clouded memory shines the sun of other ages? My love came, the wonder-worker, wizard strong, the good magician, to that temple. Eve was falling, evening with its gloom and sorrows. He approached it, sad and weary, for the journey had been painful. In the centre of the ruins, cried he, "Let the aisles rise newly, let the tapers flame and glitter, let the shrines be decorated. Heart, O heart, revive and pulsate. I am he whom you awaited. Love me." See, in crowds arriving, weary and devoutly zealous, come the ghosts, the troubled spirits, from their sepulchres arising. Hopes, ambitions, dreams, and longings, the most noble and the richest, the most beautiful, the grandest fancies, these are the princesses, and the dreams, the youthful pages. Fair church, to the incantation of my wishes, rise from ruin, lo, my happiness invokes thee. Soon will day dawn, late the hour is, and my love, the wonder worker, knocks and calls, and no one answers, and he bends the knee, entreating, and the marvel does not follow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Spare the Nests by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Is it a nest? It is a nest. See, mid the branches hidden, the light breeze rocks it. With their gold the sunbeams make it glad. Oh, know you what a nest is? It is that which most you cherish, what laughs with you in happiness, and mourns when you are sad. Is it a home? It is a home. Pure love's most holy refuge. There to the birds, together, warmth and sweet sleep night brings. The forest boughs are tossing, the sky grows dark. No matter, being so great, the Lord above takes care of tiny things. These palaces among its leaves the woodland shades and shelters. They are its fairest ornament, when in spring's gala dressed. The bird that through the fields of space flies freely in the sunlight knows that he has a nook wherein to fold his wings and rest. The nests are shrines of peace and love, dear, holy sanctuaries. Wicked the hands which tear them down with wantonness and jests. Oh, know you not that in this world no sadder sight can greet us than dry and withered blossoms, or shattered, ruined nests? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Pobre Galleguito by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Pobre Galleguito, candorous and fair, come to seek his fortunes ere he could read well. He walks in the droll manner of a bear, and has the quiet glance of a gazelle. His word is often blunt and rough, but leal. Though rude of gesture, how he is sincere! He's short and squatty, but his bones are steel. His heart is crystal clear. Heroes and saints are made of such as he. But, alas, too soon he'll make good and be boss in his saloon. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Ascension by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. All things climb a starry stair, by a law that no man knows. What was yesterday a thorn, shall tomorrow be a rose. What was once a chrysalid, soon shall soar, free fluttering. What was yesterday a wish, will tomorrow be a wing. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Song of the Nightingale by Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. The nightingale was singing across the night divine, the night of snowy vapours, the night of crystal blue, and down the silver garden there shone a lonely pine, with glowing cones arising, the sombre shadows threw. The nightingale was singing, and out beyond there lay the meadows, sleeping calmly, the while he poured his song. What time the wind all gently upon its perfumed way from flower to flower whispered the lovely chant along. Then suddenly the dawning, with yellow brows on high, lit up the peaks and wakened the lark's ascending call. Day bared its mighty bosom, the nightingale made cry, across the early twilight and dream mystery of all. Then warm siesta hours, and then the pensive eve came by, and lamps of midnight grew faint and cold and dark. Still, still the nightingale upon his loss was fain to grieve. Beneath the votive funeral urn the moon held veiled and stark. By summer and by autumn, by winter, springtime, still arose that song of nightingale amid the garden's mesh. In joy or melancholy, with voice of laughter shrill, or lamentation unappeased, and yet forever fresh. The nightingale in madness amid the whirl of dreams, inebriate of moonlight, of life and passion, sang and sang. Become the very self of poetry, he seems the dusky garden of the breast from which he sprang. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Clear Night by Louise Urbina. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgate Novelist. Whiteness of dream, whiteness of polar days, glistening white that blanches out the tide, whiteness which vanquishes shadow in the wide, strange deep blue clouds that horizons erase. The undulation is gentle, striped with rays of light, a spider web immense and rare, whose frail netted fabric is broken where, in the cold water, an oar dips and plays. Then, marvellous, from the moving oar blades shake drops of snow and silver across the lake, marking the boat's capricious bend and twist, till each with swaying wake dissolves from view in distant fog, a web of white and blue, which is dust of diamond in a sapphire mist. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. And end of Selected Poems by Louise Urbina. Thank you for listening.